Hello guys, hello everybody, welcome back to my white world. This is again your YouTube media, social media influencer. Okay, let's go back with another topic. Okay, let's go back with another topic. Discuss has vocabulary. Okay, so if I mean vocab, that means vocabulary. It's just a shortcut. Okay, so we have 10 here in a form of sentences from 1 to 10. So actually, there's a lot of profound vocabulary, but we need to choose some and few only because, as you can see, it will not be accommodated in the entire whiteboard. I have a very tiny or a very minute or a very small whiteboard, so it cannot be occupied and accommodated. Okay, so the only way to do that is to keep erasing after that, after discussion, erasing, after discussion, erasing, but it looks like too weak, okay, too weak in effectiveness of the learning of my audience in my social media, okay, interactive giving of information, meaning sluggish. You cannot really get exactly the quality output of your learning. If that is the case, then talking, then erase, talking, and erase, right? It's not convenient, by the way. Okay, that's the point. Okay, how I wish I could have a very gigantic, board so that I can really accommodate all the important ideas pertaining to advanced vocab. I can discuss also more because I have a limited resource now. Okay, resource or resources, by the way. Okay, that's the point. Because what I mean really is the white word, or it's a resource. But actually, what comes in my mind, so many. That's why I change immediately to resources. Right? Things like that. My brain cells are very fast to to correct things like that. The words that really came out from my mouth a while ago. Okay, things like, so number one, blank, lively, and happy. Okay, things like that. What is that all about? So we need to think of an unfamiliar word that is not usually expressed, that is not usually used in a sentence. It looks like strange to listen, but it has an accurate grammar. Okay, so it's gonna be chirpy. Okay, I will write the answer chirpy. Chirpy. To be chirpy is really lively and happy. Okay, always excited like that to certain situations in that moment or in that day. So you cannot really explain why it's gonna be chirpy. Okay, chirpy. Close to cheapy, but this is not cheapy. Cheapy is chips, right? You get the point? That usually we will eat that as junk foods, fancy foods that have no nutrients, just for the sake of having the craveness or the craving to eat those fancy foods or junk foods. And then it's very good to pair that with a soft drinks, right? If you are really in the Philippines, that you love doing that. But not all, but mostly. Especially period, 9 o'clock, like that. In the afternoon also. It very strange for the Filipino culture. There are two snacks, in the morning and in the afternoon. Right? That's why you will become obese and you will become fat if you cannot control that habit. Because actually you don't have to take snacks because the digestion process would take 6 hours. Food you eat in the breakfast. So 6 hours, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, at least 1 o'clock for the complete and ideal digestion of the food. And then you eat also somewhere along in the 10 o'clock and then 10 o'clock. So what happens? Okay, you are now over eating. Because you are very hungry, but actually it's not the hunger, is that what you felt at that moment. It's really the proper and the complete cycle of digestion. That's why your stomach will sound okay. Like that you feel that you are hungry, but it's not hungry. You only misinterpreted that as a hungry situation, but it's not really hungry. You get the point? That's the complete and ideal digestion process really took place, okay, in the biochemical reactions inside our body. Okay, to the main reason that it will take 6 hours maximum to digest the food. in every meal. Unless you are doing a lot of activities, okay, for that day or heavy tasks like that, it matters also because the more you burned out calories in that situation. But for simply working in the office like that, office jobs, you don't have to, exert more efforts or physical activities, then you need not to eat snacks. Okay. But if you're really doing it for a long time, that is already your habit and a culture. That's why you keep on longing that several times because you are practicing that or you practiced that long time ago and the present. So it's very difficult to stop at the moment if you're really doing that as a habit. Okay, poor eating habit. Okay, that's the point. So number two, being and blanc is to have full of energy and enthusiasm. Well, I really love enthusiasm. Okay, the passion of being eager, the passion of being willing to do certain tasks and activities in which you make yourself happy, content or contented, and also convenient and comfortable. Okay, regardless if you have money or not. Things like that. That's enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is a natural feeling. Okay, it's not artificial feeling. What do you mean by natural? Natural feeling meaning don't really have anything to push you to be alive, to be active, to be happy. It's just really normal. Okay, get the point? Get the point? It's the instinct. Instinct phenomenon is the right terms for that. Because phenomenon is an occurrence, right? Things like that. Okay, or let's say inherent stimuli, meaning respond to a certain activity or situation that is respond to a certain stimuli, right? In biology. That's what I could remember, right? Things like that. Correct me if I'm wrong also. Respond to a certain stimuli. The way how you behave, the way how you respond to a certain situation. That is stimulus or stimuli. Stimuli because there's so many that triggers you to be happy. Things like that. Okay? So many things that triggers you to be happy. That's why stimuli. This is the plural of stimulus. Just like alumni, alumnus, fungus, fungi. Things like that in English language. You get the point? Okay. But you can never say also virus. Okay, virus and viral. You get the point. Okay, bacterium and bacteria. Right? Bacteria is the plural, bacterium is the singular. Okay, I'll go back here. What is your answer here? So being and blank, so it's gonna be adjective. Okay, this is exuberant. Exuberant. Okay, to be exuberant, you have full of energy and enthusiasm, as if you're always accelerated in a moment or excited, things like that. So you cannot really understand what's happening because it is inadvertent effect. You know what I mean by inadvertent? Meaning to say unintentional, unexpected, not planned. Okay? That is inadvertently happening. Inadvertently happening. Okay, unintentional. You get the point? Things like that. So, number three, we have black treacherous. Oh my gosh. Treacherous is the feeling of being guilty to something, to someone, or to in a situation that, yourself led to a certain deception. Okay, deception meaning deceiving somebody else always like that, and you are now in the process of treachery, and now you are now a treacherous person. Of treacherous. Okay, so you're causing harm to anybody else. You keep on fabricating negative words to somebody else, things like that. So it's a negative ability or negative character or behavior, things like that. So always leads you to trouble. Okay? and then burden. If you cannot control that, it will lead you to a difficulty times, pain and suffering like that. Okay, and sometimes it will lead you to be anxious most of the times, and you cannot really explain because you are really a treacherous person, uncontrollable treachery manner. Wow, treachery manner. Okay, get the point. So we have insidious. Okay. Be careful also with the spelling because sometimes, most of the times, U-O-U-S, like just continuous, okay, like conspicuous. So you pronounce that as was, if U-O-S, okay. For example, continuous, like that, okay. But here, it's not like that because there's no U prior to O, so insidious, like that, okay. So it depends on you how to pronounce that, but we could not have really a perfect pronunciation as long as it could be understood, things like that. You get the point? Okay, number 4, we are focusing on the vocabulary, right? So, number 4, garish. Why I love this? Oh, garish. Oh, I love my fluorescent light. It's so garish. I can really read a lot because I can really read exactly word for word because it's really conspicuous and noticeable in my eyes. Readable, transparent because of garish light. Garish meaning bright. Okay. I always practice this garish because of the sound. Garish. I love it. I love too much SH. Garish. Okay, things like that. Oh, I love the light because it's too garish. Okay. Move, I can dance, I can sing. Because, the light is so bright. Okay. So if there's garish effect or bright light, usually there's gleaming effect. Gleaming or gleam. Gleam. The light will always be reflected to a certain color, for example, polished color wall or a white plain cloth. Usually, lights will be reflected in a white background. Okay, so if that is the case, the light will be reflected to a certain polished, smooth, or really a white material or background, then you can use the adjective gleaming. Gleaming. Oh, the light is gleaming. I can now clearly see. But before it was too dark, but thanks to God that my lights are so gleaming for today and for tonight. Things like that. Okay, so and so garish. Wow. Remember, and it's the or tantamount to bright. Okay, like that. Okay, very clear, right? Gleaming. Here. We have also the blooming, but that's another meaning. Okay? Blooming meaning it is an unpleasant event or situation that you could not expect to happen in your entire lifetime. Okay? You don't have control on that, but it will just happen unexpectedly. If you don't save money when you are still young, then your glooming life will be happening soon. Your life will turn to be glooming. Like let's say glooming, then you'll be subject to a miserable life, things like that. You get the point. So you're unhappy, extreme unhappiness, the feeling of regret, like that, worried for certain situations or things like that happened around you. Wow. Okay, you get the point. So that's not really our word. For here, our word is garish and it means bright. Number 5. Okay. Oh my gosh. Positive, hopeful, assured, optimistic. Okay. So when we optimize things around us, just like optimization in a quality assurance department, so if we different parameters with regards to the quality and specifications high standards, it's also the same with an individual. We need also to optimize our life by balancing our well-being, our mental health, our physical health, our moral health, our, or anything that makes us happy in this contemporary world. If we optimize that, then we are optimistic. Of course, from the word itself, optimize. things like that, or optimization as a process. Now, same thing, it is also a positivism and being positive. And then if you are being positive, you are also hopeful, okay, for certain situations that leads you to success. Things like that. Assured, oh, I'm contented, I'm satisfied, oh, really, I love it. Things like that. Okay, so what do you mean by this? In a deep word also. So this is sanguine. 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 So some will pronounce that as sanguine. Some also will pronounce that as sanguine. But never mind. As long as you know the word and you know the spelling for the meantime, it's up for you to research in a pronunciation app called Elsa's Software. Okay, you have to download that in your mobile phone. Then every word has its own correct pending and specific or particular pronunciation. You get a there. You get the point. Okay. If you want to improve pronunciation, then download that app. It's very useful, really. Okay, and there's free for that. I'm not really working in the Elsa's company. Okay, disclaimer. I'm just telling the truth that it will help a lot if you are an English beginner speaker. Your level is still in the, let's say, A2, A1, like that. You are on the basic. Okay, because there's leveling, basic, like that. Remember, secondly, you have also the average, things like that, and then so the competent, like that. Okay, intermediate, advanced, and proficient. Okay, so there's a corresponding labeling of the type of your language ability based on our common European, okay, reference or framework. Okay, common European framework of reference, because this describes really the language ability of an individual to a certain level, things like that. This is really an international standard, okay, especially in most countries that have a bilingual languages, which is their own language or their own dialect and the international English language. Okay, specifically the Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Ireland, like that, Switzerland, or whatever. It depends on the country you will be migrating. You will be migrated in the future. Nakakaloka, no? Okay, now, that is sanguine. Or sanguine or sanguine, it's up to you. But I would love to pronounce that as sanguine, right? Okay, sanguine, okay. Really? Sanguine. Okay. Yes, you don't have to carry the G. Sanguine. Okay. Number 6, assertive of an authority in a domineering way. What do you call this one? Okay, you are very assertive of an authority in a domineering way. What is this quality? Okay. Assertive all, let's check this out. Assertive or authority, okay, and domineering meaning dominancy, or meaning you always dominate for a certain situation. Okay, what do you call the one? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you try to assert all the time, right, your ideas, things like that, and you are really assertive in different situations. Okay, so you have the ability of synergy. Synergy, you are assertive of an authority in a domineering way, so you love collaborating with others, you love to cooperate with others, things like that. So that's why you are really assertive. You get the point? Things like that. So that's very clear, right? Okay, things like that. Or let's say another term for that's gonna be officious. Okay, officious. Officious. It looks like matters on a person that usually, okay, like saying that you are really genius, things like that. Okay. lascivious. Lascivious. Okay, when you put OUS, right? There's English language, things like that. It's also an adjective. Okay, things like that. So officious. Okay, conscious. What else? So many things that have OUS, right? Okay, ostentatious. Okay, what else? So many things. For now, I cannot think for others, but later I can think. Okay, forget it. But the important really is officious, and you are in the side. Okay, but I love the word officious. Let's just use the officious. Okay, because it's really a strange word, right? Okay. Oh, you are so officious. Okay, sometimes I don't like you. Meaning it's really dominating always, even though sometimes they are wrong, or you are wrong, or he is wrong, or she is wrong, still insists. Things like that. Because assertive. It is very good to assert an ideas that are also appropriate, useful, relevant, beneficial, invaluable, and paramount to a certain conversation or whatever. But if it is not also very beneficial and substantial, so you don't like, right, an assertive person. So if you are assertive, it's understood that the impact will be positive, useful, beneficial, okay, like that. But if you are an assertive person but the impact is negative, so it's not good also. That's why it depends on how you use that in a sentence. Okay? But the quality of being assertive, what we mean here, always positive in effect. But sometimes you can also involve that in a particular, but it's possible also. With the point? But in the ordinary sense of the word, we use assertive in a positive effect. Okay. I'm just really looking for the possibility. Okay. English language is always like this. You will expect for this, the definition for this,